Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. So, Chai with my Bhai is back, and Alhamdulillah, this time season 3 is going to be available on the podcast app, both on Android and Apple devices. So, if you're on either of those, then click the link below, inshallah. Subscribe to the podcast. I promise you're not going to want to miss it. And now it's accessible for you wherever you are. If you're on the train, you can listen to it with your headphones in, or you've got AirPods, Beats, whatever headphones you have, inshallah. You can listen to it wherever you are, whenever you want, inshallah. And if you're watching on YouTube, as always, just remember you can watch the video. And all the previous episodes from the last 2 seasons are available on YouTube. If you go to the playlist on Nasiha Session, the YouTube channel, if you go to the playlist, it's called Chai with my Bhai. You can find all the previous episodes there. And inshallah, from now on, all the future episodes on the podcast app. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode of Chai with my Bhai. Today's episode is the original Bhais. You have myself, Imran, Saad, and the Big G. Introduce yourself, guys, so we'll give salam, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
wa barakatuh. Wow.
Today's episode is an interesting one. It's called Jinn Stories. So everyone's going to go around, inshallah, and just tell some Jinn stories that they've had over their, lifetime. I think, who's had the most Jinn stories? Guled?
No.
Me and Saad.
I think so, yeah.
Me and Saad.
I mean, some brothers are going to tell
I've had some weird
autobiographies.
Yeah.
Huh?
You guys get a joke? No, I'm good.
He said some brothers are going to tell autobiography. Obviously, the point is not just to tell stories, it's to share experiences.
And benefit as well.
And hopefully from that, give advices to people who might be suffering from magic, possession, evil eye, those who might be doing ruqya on others. And it's not just restricted to magic possession, it's even restricted to like mental health issues, for example. So not restricted, it's even, even like encompasses mental health issues or other illnesses such as cancer and whatnot. Before we start, I really want to mention one thing. He is taller than me, but the height difference between us is not that different. I actually, because because this mic, it doesn't. Actually, this one comes up, right?
It does, but it's broken.
Okay, yeah. So because it doesn't, I have to like stretch my legs so that I can be lower down. But really,
it's called bending your legs, not
I'm just
stretching.
No, you're standing on tiptoes.
I know, but like even then, the angle makes me look shorter. Like this,
No, this is your height.
I'm
No,
not
I'm
gonna
not that
lie.
shorter than
I'm
you.
not gonna lie. There's a big difference between you and him.
really.
Yeah, there's like at least that much.
بين
difference.
المشرق.
But what's the problem?
Maghrib.
What's the problem?
How
You're
tall
short.
are you?
I'm like 6'2", I think, or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
الله يبارك.
I'm better. How tall are you?
الله أعلم.
Good
Let's not
listen.
disclose.
Well, he's not
too much
6'5".
information.
Stand.
No.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
gun
6.
signs.
I'm
Huh?
not.
No, it's
Marua, we're out the window.
I'm
Shahada,
just under
shahada.
6 foot. So
Shout out to Yasin.
you look mad
God,
tall right now. Is this really how tall you are?
I don't know. Anyway, listen. Can I start you off, yeah? Can I start you off? Because when I started practicing, or rather when I joined you guys, one of the first experiences I had was
A Jinn
a Jinn story. And do you guys remember that day?
They weren't there. It was just me and
wasn't
you.
there.
in the house.
No, bro, there was about...
In the
There
house.
was no, not
Oh,
in the
Oh,
house.
he's talking about the center.
Yes,
house.
I was there.
In the center. Were you there?
What are you
that day?
talking? Oh!
Good, was there that day.
You're talking about the day when everyone was in
Okay.
Ruqya, and then behind the curtains, it was me, Dean, and one other brother.
you were
And these men were just
sleeping.
these men were wrestling. And then they kept hitting the curtain, and people were sitting behind the curtain trying to do Ruqya, and these men are just like wrestling.
No,
like,
I'm talking
legs
about
sticking out.
another one.
He's
you
talking about
talking
apparently when you were sleeping and they came and he shook you. Remember?
No, that was Guled.
Shook me.
I'm talking
No,
about-
when I was trying to sleep in their yard.
I'm talking a time where a brother was getting a ruqya session. He was getting beaten. And you
Oh,
That was in Abu Bakr's.
that wasn't even a Ruqya, bro.
That was Ruqya.
that was
a-
Ruqya
nah,
session.
bro,
That was
bro,
Ruqya.
that was just
that was a
That was Ruqya. That
was
brother.
a-
That brother
that
has
was a-
something in him.
that
nah.
was abusive.
That brother
session.
That was
Sorry.
abuse, bro. That was just abuse in the
We'll
name
talk
of
about that later.
banter
Inshallah.
or something. I don't know what that was, but
All the angry brothers sit there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That brothers were just venting like. Yeah, the brothers getting Hadouken and everything.
That day there was leg bars. There was
Choke
rear
holds.
naked
I
chokes.
didn't partake in that. But
Abu Bakr's trying to be the goody gumdrops.
no,
on the
not
side,
even. I was just saying that, bro. You man are
Alright.
being a bit.
Alright,
man,
brother,
innit?
that's on
Oh, you man, be careful.
Brother, that's
No,
on
innit?
Don't
Brother,
add
that's
to
on
that,
you.
you man.
Some people they just see someone just walk with a bit of a bop and be like, he's got something in him. He's got something in him. But that's what it is, innit? But let's get back to the story. The first story, inshallah. So all I remember is, I was there freshly practicing. This is 2015. So the year I started practicing about August time. So yeah, it was during the summer. So we were doing classes and stuff with Ustad. And
We had the center.
we had a centre where we were doing classes and stuff. And it's actually quite similar to this kind of thing, like we used to chill on that. And I remember after the classes, one day I was chilling, just doing some work on my laptop because that's what I was doing with these guys. And all I remember is Imran said to me, he goes, I need you to come into the room with me because the sister wants to, speak about something, but I don't want to be alone with her, obviously. So I was like, oh, no problem, I'll just sit in the corner, do my thing. He's like, cool. So we went into the classroom, and on the side is the side office. So we went into the office. So the sister went first, then it was myself, then it was Imran. And as soon as we got into the room, the sister dropped. She stacked, and there's those little wires and tables and those computer chairs. So I thought maybe she
And it was
stacked.
it was a dirty drop. Like,
Yeah, it was dirty,
just
to the point where I remember I was quite newly practicing. I almost reached out and I was like, "You're right," kind of thing. Like, obviously, and then obviously I realized what you can't touch. But then I almost reached out like, "You're right," and I remember everyone just grabbed me. He's like, "Hey!" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Wait." And I was like, "Yeah, what happened?" He started reciting, and as soon as he started reciting, have you ever seen horror movies in Jahiliyyah? But you know that in the movies when like someone's being like there's a demon inside them or something, and they're just being like, what's the word? Contorted. Their body's like,
Yeah.
what's that thing that them people do at circuses where they like mash up their bodies and like bend it in like some weird, what's that thing called? Contortion. Is it called
I
contortion?
think so, something like that. I don't know.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like I was looking at her thinking, right, like she's just writhing around like this, and her arms going behind her head and coming back over, and her legs just. I was just like, what the hell, bro? And like, I was confused as to how you even like, why you even decided to recite.
I'm not gonna lie, you handled it pretty well. Most people in that situation, I know some brothers that they walked into a room where a ruqyah session was happening,
And they walked straight back
they
out.
walk right back out.
And he just said to me, he said, recite. And we're like, I couldn't even remember Fatiha. Like in the moment, I was just like, bro, what do I recite? And I remember, I just started reciting. I can't remember what it was, but I just started reciting. And then I think there was a sister there as well who came to help out and whatnot. And she started. She kind of took over in terms of dealing with the sister. The rest of it was just long, and I think her parents came down and whatnot, and it was long.
Oh yeah, that was a sad issue because her parents
They
were
weren't
not willing to
accept.
accept that the daughter had been possessed.
And this is another thing, yeah. Should we talk about this, or should we just keep telling stories? We're taking benefits.
I
We're
think
taking
taking
benefits.
benefits,
Come to it.
So
this is important
It's a big problem.
because her parents were convinced that she had mental health issues. Now I'm not gonna lie, my sister definitely did come across that she had some kind of mental health issues, even though I'm not an expert on the issue, so I can't really comment on that side of things. But like obviously, one thing we know is ruqyah, and we know we can kind of tell when a person's possessed and a person's possessed. You know what I'm saying? It's like the most baitest thing in the world. The jinn was talking from her and everything and whatnot. And her parents were just really not willing to help support that sister at all. In fact, they were being argumentative. They were like, I want to call the police, blah, 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 blah. They were saying she's mad, she's insane. And in the end, that sister, her situation, and she was actually just trying to get on deen. She wasn't even practicing, she was just trying to get on deen. And in the end, I heard her situation actually just got worse and worse and worse. And I actually don't know what happened with her in the end, but I heard her situation got really bad. We pray that Allah Azza wa Jalla grants her shifa. But yeah,
Ameen.
I mean,
but it's a big problem, don't you think? That like people, like especially like back home, no one really wants to
accept
the fact that maybe someone in the family might be possessed or might have mental health issues or something.
You know what it
It's
is?
a very taboo thing.
You know what it is? There's two extremes. There's those people who everything is just evil eye. Like there's a brother I know, yeah, and he's got a friend, and like every time he's always like, yeah, someone put evil eye on my friendship. And I'm like, bro, it's not evil eye. Like, I'm observing these
You're
two
just making
brothers,
me mad.
and I'm like, no, it's just normal like friends. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Everything's evil eye to him. And I'm like, bro, it's actually genuinely not evil eye. It's just you're just friends. That's every now and again there's a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
But then there's other extreme which is like it doesn't
exist.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just
I mean, there are people out there who actually believe that jinn possession is impossible and it doesn't exist, right?
that's a view from the Mu'tazila, and it's a
So
view.
HT believes that as well.
Allahu A'lam. I don't know if they believe that. It does come from people who, generally speaking, don't take hadith or ahad.
Yeah.
But it's a conversation I don't really want to go into too much because I've done
No
a video with Ustad
problem.
Muhammad Team Humble with it. So I'd rather just link them to link below.
No
But as far as Ahl
problem.
Sunnah is concerned, there's ijma', unanimous consensus that jinn possession is something that takes place. There's evidence from the Quran and Sunnah.
Yeah.
We can link the video below. if you
Calm, no
want.
problem. So that's my story done. Now we can go over to Guled, get a different camera angle. And I just want to ask one thing. I remember when I first started, there was always this concept of like whenever we do an event, someone always pops. So like, where did that start from, or like why is that such a like a
Were you
principle?
there? The Where's My Bay?
yeah.
You were there, right?
Of course.
Oh, that was mad.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my days, no, you were both were my.
Listen, I was gonna say, yeah, point the thing directly. Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Speak directly
No,
into
no.
it.
Into it like that, yeah.
Into it, bro.
But you know,
Like that.
Speak
Go
to
in,
it
go in.
like that, so the viewers can see your face.
Oh, okay.
Like
I
that.
like that, yeah. But this one
Yeah.
twists, so I'm gonna have to hold it like that.
Mm.
Yeah, generally the concept of like, there was two causes that where this line came from was that every event someone would always react or pop off, as they say. And so the first cause which led to the second one, people popping off, was Imran used to do this thing where as he's talking, I don't know why, he always used to bring it in. I don't know, this is his favorite topic, Allah Alam. No, second favorite, I know which one.
What's the favorite one?
We'll leave to that.
I know what you're gonna say.
No, let's leave that. Let's leave that.
But it's not. My favorite topic is Tawheed, brother.
Allah,
I know what you're thinking. My favorite topic is Tawheed,
So,
brother.
It used to be right at one point.
Say that again?
It used to be at one point.
Tawheed is always my favorite topic.
متخصص. Anyway, so the second one.
Shout out Batavia.
The second. So basically, every event we used to go to, regardless, he always used to bring this in. I think halfway of the event, and this is anywhere, whether it was in UK, whether we went outside UK, where he would, I don't know, he'd just be like,
should we
who
see
wants
him?
to know? Oh, okay.
Should we see who's possessed?
1 second.
Yeah.
Remember, the audio's still running though. The audio's still
Oh, the
running.
audio still runs, yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's just.
So he was like, like, should you just switch up randomly? Just, listen, who wants to? Nah, you guys don't want it. Who wants to know what position in that? You guys on that? Who wants to know?
Randomly, like every event
Randomly. And obviously the people were like, it's like, wow, this is, it's like, but they don't know if it's you, like, but you're like, yeah. So the person's like, everyone's like, nah, I can't do it. Nah, should I do it? Nah. Are you sure? Okay, cool. And then that's what would happen. And then from that, well, I was here and there. You'd hear whatever you'd hear, or
Do you remember in Norway when I did it and I started to recite the ayah from Surah Al-Baqarah?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they said, stop.
Yeah.
There was a girl sitting from
On
the
the
back, sisters to
far
the
left, yeah,
and the
right,
sisters
yeah.
were grabbing her, and she was saying, someone's choking me, someone's
Yeah,
choking me.
yeah.
Obviously, nothing was that. It was the shaitan, isn't it?
Mad.
And yeah, that event, I remember that event was peak. What happened at the, like, I remember
got
I think it was like
I got a question.
Yeah.
two people.
Why would you even
Yeah,
Test-
good question. Yeah.
test
The
the
re-
people?
This is a
Okay,
very good question.
Now, I'm
Okay.
thinking you've got 200, 300, 400, 700 people.
People
in
at an event.
You know, we don't know if any women have any mahrams there with them. So why would you even do something like that?
It was
you
a
know-
general event, by the way. It was male and female.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with gym position, but you bring it in
No,
there.
the reason I bring it in. Okay, look. Not all the time.
Do
would
you
I bring
regret it
in.
or you still stick by it?
Look, I'll tell
Okay, you know, I tell you, it wasn't all, but it was at that time. I could say about 80%.
Okay, look,
I mean, I was for it, but I just want to know why you
Okay,
wanted to do it
look.
in the first
So
place.
you know, the first time it ever happened was at the
I wasn't
first.
for
I
it.
take it back now.
The
but
first time it ever happened was
Yeah.
at the Where's My Bay event, yeah, the one we done in London, and I noticed.
that thing was.
I
mad.
never spoke about it. I noticed something that whenever I'd speak about
But-
Tawheed,
Yeah, so
whenever I speak about La ilaha illallah, it's like the people who possess the shaitan inside them will get very aggravated and they will react. And then when that started to happen, naturally, and I'm not forcing it, I'm not provoking it right now, but what would happen is that in my mind I was thinking to myself, wow, a lot of people are possessed. And then at that time we were doing a lot of ruqyah, and it was something that obviously it's not something that, you know, we do on a day-to-day anymore, but I mean we never did it on a day-to-day.
I mean, it was you
But-
and Sad, Ma'alam Barry.
Say that again?
That was into that rocket.
You, even you. Yeah, you
Man, how good it wasn't into it. I
you
got
know,
a
I
story
was-
regarding him.
Yeah,
forced,
everyone's had their fair share. Even though
If I had a choice, I would leave it.
Oh,
you
but
know.
good has been in some
He
interesting
didn't leave it,
situations.
he ran from
Anyway,
it.
the point of
Yeah.
the matter is that
It's not for me.
anyway,
Not to worry him, but I'm just saying it's not a field of.
it's to each their own, innit? But the point is that
It takes a lot of time. That's why as well.
that's the issue. It takes
Yeah, you
a
have to-
lot
you
of
have to
time
commit.
out. You know, to do it properly, it can't just be a little 1 hour
Yeah,
session
yeah.
that some people do charge £100. Keep moving. Like it has to be this is a big thing, like commitment. Like you have to really like serve the people. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But anyway, when we was doing it, I started to become more I started to become more like attuned to the fact that bare people are possessed. Like it's actually mad how many people are possessed.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, you know what? This is something that actually increases people's iman. Like I know people who change their life after they find out they got possessed. I know people whose iman
Sure.
increased when they saw. So then I used to say to myself, because I wanted to kind of like bring people's attention that this is something real, And this might be the reason why you're not able to leave pornography, why you're not able to leave these sins, why you keep, why you should stop smoking drugs, why you should stop wearing makeup on the streets, is because maybe a jinn's attracted to you, or a jinn's possessed you, or a jinn's in love with you, or whatever have you. So I used to do it to kind of just like provoke that understanding in them. But yeah, it's like you said, it's just too much energy. Like I'd still do it.
No, you.
I would
still.
still do it till now. It's just that the issue is that
Do you think the cons outweigh the pros?
no, not at all, because
No,
I
you know what
believe
it is,
for a
at that
person
time-
to
at
know
that
that they are
time-
suffering from an illness,
Yeah,
at
I
which
agree.
they would
I
never
agree.
know.
I
They would
agree.
never know.
But the time and place.
Yeah, and what better time and place than a masjid?
No, it's not necessarily always a masjid. And even
I know.
no, majority of them weren't in masajid. Literally, some
That's the
random place in
beginning. That's
Norway.
the beginning.
No,
That's
but
the
you know,
beginning.
it's at the same time. It wasn't like he said. Look, the topic that was being discussed was tawheed and these kind of things.
And they would
Sometimes
just
it
pop.
wasn't. Yeah, sometimes it wasn't. For the one that
Yeah.
I really remember was one that we did.
No way.
No. It was in
Where's my
London, but regardless of where it was in London.
Where's my bay?
This one, it could have been wherever's my bay. Allah alam. Anyways, and basically it was like, oh, someone goes to, I think someone said to Saad that passed the message on to me, or someone passed the message on to someone to pass on to me, and I was like, is there someone that's first aid in here? There's a sister that's passed out.
Oh wow.
So
I know which one you know.
yeah. And then afterwards, I was like, wow. So I made an announcement. This is the one.
You sure it wasn't in a masjid?
I wasn't in a masjid. 100% wasn't in a masjid. Wasn't. No. I did make that same announcement in a masjid.
Yeah, I
but
remember,
This is different. So made an announcement. There's a first aid. A couple people came. Then I went to the scene. You just see someone laying there. Pass it. You think, subhanallah, what could have happened? You know. And then what do you call it? I must have been like, oh, sister. And then what do you call it? All there is. Get away from me. Don't touch me. Yeah, don't touch me. I never touched that. I never touched that. I never
Even in my story, sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you, but
So-
when that sister, when she started making noises,
Yeah.
bro, a sister does not make those noises.
Yeah.
Like growling or like speaking in a voice that's like deep, manly voice. Scary.
Yeah, when you had, so when I had, don't touch me. I never touched her. I was like, all I had, don't
I
touch me.
remember good. What I remember is good is that he was not nowhere like,
Yeah,
touching
it
her.
was-
I mean, all he did is this is.
I just said, oh, we know this is what this one is. I was like, oh, we don't.
Everyone's there like.
Where's my
calling
Uber?
the
We don't
ambulance.
no, we don't need a first aid for this one. And then, subhanAllah, the sad thing that was there was after seeing all this, and then obviously Imran came over and he was like, reciting, and the sister got up like that.
Straight away.
Straight
And the
away.
same thing happened in Norway. Remember there was the one sister who just collapsed.
Yeah.
And we said one sec, recite Fatiha.
Yeah.
And then straight away she got up.
Then to look at the sad thing, yeah. Then there was a what do you call it? A sister that was there.
First aid one, right?
Yeah, and then she goes, no, what do you call it? It could be epilepsy, like after seeing all the, and I'm not denying the potential of medical reason and stuff like that, but in a situation like that, when someone was just out cold, and then after you say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem," and you start reciting, and they get up like that, and they're trying to run away from it, and you're still persisting that it could be epilepsy or Allah Alam, it's just things like
I
that.
just don't want to believe.
Unfortunately, the video is tagged in there, but some people's mindset is it's two extremes, like I was mentioned before. There's some that everything is jinn and shaitan and whatnot, and other people that say everything's meant. So the two sides are looked at. But yeah, it was that one stuck up for me because of the whole incident, how it all played out. But yeah, subhanAllah, that was
Saad, coming over to you now, inshallah.
What
Yeah.
was even more interesting is when we found out who that sister was as well.
no, yeah, you knew who it was. It was because someone he was already dealing with. He was already dealing with them.
Yeah. No,
No, I don't remember that.
From the angle.
No,
of
you used
the-
that. Oh, this
basically
so and so, and the
sister-
name.
I
is
remember she
so-and-so.
had sent. I remember she sent messages on Facebook.
Basically,
Really
that's-
excited to come to Where's My Bay. She was not like a practicing sister. She was
No,
trying
but
to come
it's
and
someone
do-
that you already knew the
No,
history
this
of.
was saying
whatever.
the issue was that sister who he's talking about, right? She wasn't wearing a hijab or anything. She
Yeah.
came to the event, and later on we found out this was the sister who used to be in Niqabi. He used to ask you
Yeah.
for help, and she said, "I've got
Yeah.
ruqya issues. I want help, and
Yeah.
my family's not doing anything about
Yeah, I
it."
remember that. She used to be in a
and literally
Qadi, yeah.
within like 6-7 months, she left everything, but she still managed to come to that event that day.
And she came to a few events after that as
Yeah.
well. I pray Allah Azza wa Jalla against it.
Ameen.
Istiqamah.
I mean,
I think this family thing is a big theme in it. Like,
Family
Wallah, I
situation.
find overwhelming majority of times when we're doing ruqya, the problem is the family. The barrier is the family. Like, I find that so common the problem that just doesn't either they don't want to believe or they don't want to support or everyone wants a shortcut. Call the raqi in to do ruqya, but why? It's your daughter, it's your sister, it's your wife. Do it yourself. Encourage them to do it themselves. Okay, ruqya has happened, shayateen are in the house, but you don't want to take over the pictures. And the Prophet ﷺ said clearly that the pictures and idols and statues and all these little things that you have decoration pieces that are figurines of like things,
Prevent angels.
they prevent angels from coming in. So the angels, shayateen come. The Prophet ﷺ said, do not make your houses into graveyards, right? Recite Surah Al-Baqarah. I mean, who would want to sleep in a graveyard? Imagine I would tell you, let's go tonight and have a sleepover in a graveyard. Who would do that? Well, that's a house.
Crazy daredevil wannabe.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not something that normal people want to do, right?
No,
So then the issue is that then for you to not recite Surah Al-Baqarah in your house is like a graveyard. It's like me sleeping in a graveyard. If Surah Al-Baqarah is not read in the house, then people say, oh, it plays in my house. The Prophet didn't say, Isma'u Surah Al-Baqarah. He said, Iqra'u. Recite it. Read it. Does that make sense? People think listening to these ruqya tapes, I'm not going to say there's no benefit. Allah Ta'ala alam, we have to ask the mashayikh. I know Ustad Abdurrahman's of the view that it's not the same as reciting it, you know what I'm saying? But just definitely.
There are other scholars that took that view as well. Because the hadith itself mentioned iqra'u.
Read.
You have to read.
Recite.
Read. Do your dhikr, do your adhkar. And I remember there was one time, there was a situation where there was someone who's really in need of ruqya, really in need. And I remember I was thinking, this is long, man. Ruqya, it really takes so much time away. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to dedicate yourself to this patient and whatnot. And I remember a brother, like an older brother, who really respect and benefit from. He said, like, fear Allah, the person needs help, man. Like, the person needs help. Like, if you don't help, like, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, that's what it's important in the community for us to have that support group. And because people don't want to just generally help, that's what created a vacuum where people came and kind of abused this field of ruqya and turned it into a business or turned it into. And I'm not saying it's haram to take money for ruqya. That's a discussion for a different day. But there's some people who clearly came and they abused this.
Remember, just even the other day, remember you got a message from my sister saying that this guy took advantage of me, sent you screenshots and saying that he calls me princess and says
Queen,
like,
my queen.
I can't wait.
Supposed to be a big Iraqi.
No, that was different.
Oh.
This is different. This was
another one.
And then Imran called him up while we were in the office. He called him up, and we recorded it. But then he was like, "No, I'll leave it." Like, it was in. I don't know. The guy denied it, and can't say that. He said there's multiple people who have admin of that phone number.
It was either him or one of his Iraqi trainees. So
Yeah.
someone from a ruqya agency is being inappropriate.
She was adamant that it was him she was speaking to over the phone. She knows him by name, and he said, "Yeah, that's my name." This and that, so on and so forth. But anyway, the point is that we don't know, and we can't confirm it, so there's no point mentioning it. But the point is that there's a lot of people out there. If it's happening, someone was doing it. We don't know if it was him or someone else in his team. The point is, it's happening. And thing is, you're saying that, they say that, well, I'm guiding you and this and that. And you need to do this, and you like what was saying. You need to move out so you can be alone away from your family. And then,
it seemed like he was trying to get her alone, and then he was like, "I'll come and do ruqya on you when you're alone."
Yeah, all sorts of madness like that.
But you know why that was happening? Because that sister was not getting support from her own family.
From her family.
That was the whole. It's like her own family was like not really supporting her. Do you get me? Like, if that happens, like, you should be able to deal with it yourself. Also, by the way, I did stick it on her sister as well, because I was like, why did you let the conversation drag?
Yeah.
And the guy's calling you princess and you're still responding to him. Don't act like you're innocent here.
It takes 2 to 10.
Yeah, no matter how thin you slice the bread, there's always two sides.
Yeah, me one time I remember, like, I was dreaming and it was like everything was just spinning. I couldn't get out of the spin. I was just spinning. And then I remember my eyes opened and all I heard was one word. Like, Jinn. Just like that. Straight away, I woke up, bro. I text my dad, I text my family. I said, bro, do your card before you go to sleep. And I was just so tired, I forgot to do my card. Anyway, back to the story. Was the story finished?
Without doing adhkar?
Yeah.
You went back to sleep without doing adhkar?
No. Originally.
Oh,
I did my card, woke up, I did my card and that. It was just so weird. I thought I was spinning and then.
So important.
Yeah.
So important.
Anyway, this story basically ended.
Just explain what adhkar is for people who don't know.
Your dhikr.
Yeah, please.
If you go forward to Muslim.
is
Oh,
dhikr?
by the way, yeah. Can I show you something? You might keep talking. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm back. Yeah. Speaking of dhikr, yeah, I can show you guys the new 5-star Umrah Premium
Allah Barik.
Allah Barik, Fortress of Muslim.
Fortress of a Muslim. But this is look how thick it is.
Allah Barik.
Allah
Well, they
It's
added
just
it.
they added.
It's just better quality. No, it's better quality
better
paper.
quality. The paper's better quality. The print is better quality. I mean, I feel sorry for the people who just came on the October trip and previous ones, but for November, February.
Just to mention why it's called
March,
Fortress
April.
of Muslims, the hadith Sunnah Tirmidhi, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, imagine a person He's been chased by his enemy, and the enemy are gaining on him to the point where they are about to grab him. But suddenly he throws himself inside of a fortified fortress. And the Prophet said that is like when shaitan is after you, chasing you, or any of the evil things are chasing you, and suddenly you start doing your dhikr, you start remembering Allah. You start remembering Allah with these special du'as and supplications. It's like you've thrown yourself into a fortified fortress. They can't touch you anymore with inshallah. So our book's called Fortress of Muslim because it goes through all of the adhkar that will basically fortify you in your day from these kind of things. One really important thing I need to say, and that was the intent, that I hope that people will watch this all the way to the end and get this one benefit, if that's okay.
Yeah.
There's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which I think anyone who's suffering from magic or jinn or ayn or any medical illness or condition or mental health or depression or whatever, if you embody this one hadith, I believe this inshallah ta'ala is going to be the thing that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala will be a reason for Allah Azza wa Jalla to give you shifa. And this is not just for the patient, but even for the ones who do ruqya.
Yeah.
There's a hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, where he said the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that Allah Azza wa Jalla said, "Man adani waliyan faqad adhantuhu bil harb." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, whoever becomes an enemy towards my wali, and a wali of Allah Azza wa Jalla is someone who's righteous, someone who's pious, someone who's taqwa, someone
Male or
who's,
female?
male or a female, yeah. It's not necessarily a saint or like anyone who comes with piety is a wali of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And the hadith tells you, by the way, how you can become a wali, which I'm going to mention. But Allah said, anyone who comes to my wali, who comes to my ally, who comes to my friend, and has enmity towards them, whether it be a shaitan, whether it be someone at your workplace or your school, Allah said, فَقَدْ آذَنْتُهُ بِالْحَرْبِ. Allah said, I make an announcement of war. I'm at war with this person. I am at war with them. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla, now He shows you how you can become a wali. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that my slave does not become close to me with anything except for the obligatory actions. The salah, the zakat, the fasting, the hajj, the umrah, the knowledge of tawheed, for sisters to wear the hijab, obedience to the parents. Anything that's obligatory, Allah said, that makes me love you. And Allah said, my love for my slave increases when the slave starts to do extra things. For example, extra salah, the sunnah praise, the qiyamul layl. For example, extra fasting, the Monday, the Thursday, the white nights, the fast of Dawood, one day fasting, one day off. Doing extra hajj, extra umrah, extra charity, reading more Quran. Allah said, the more nawafil, the more nafil, the more voluntary things you do, I love you even more. To the point where Allah said, I become the eyes with which you see, the ears with which you hear, the hand with which you strike, and the feet with which you walk. So Allah Azza wa Jalla is not saying He actually becomes your eye. Here, what the hadith means is that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He allows you to see the haqq. He allows you to hear the truth. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He aids you in this way. And then this is the point of the hadith that I want to get to. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, if this person does these things, the obligatory and then the voluntary on top, and I love him and I love her, they're now my ally. And I've declared war on behalf of them if anyone tries to harm them, whether it be a magician or a jinn or a shaitan or whatever. Then look what Allah said. He said, anything my servant asks me, I will give him or her. Anytime they seek refuge in me, with me, I will give it to them. Refuge meaning, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. Wallahi, there are some people that all they have to say is, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. And Allah Azza wa Jal will cause the shaitan to leave the body straight away. Some people don't even have to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, if a person was possessed, they would, and sometimes Ibn Taymiyyah was busy, he wasn't always able to come to the ruqya, right? So what he would do, he would say, they would take his shoes and send his shoes. Why? Just to show the people, I look, Ibn Taymiyyah's shoes are here, meaning he's around the corner. Do you want us to quote Ibn Taymiyyah? And then the shaitan would say, no, I'm done. Do not bring Ibn Taymiyyah. I'm done. And he would go. Just by knowing that he might be coming. And a story happened like this with Ibn Baz as well. There was a person that was possessed in the university and they said, should we quote Ibn Baz? And the shaitan ran away. So it will get to the point where you don't even have to, necessarily even do the isti'adha. But Allah Azza wa Jalla will give you so much. And by the way, that's not because Ibn Taymiyyah's got some special power or Ibn Baz has got some special power. No, that's Allah Azza wa Jalla constantly protecting them, constantly aiding them. Why? Because these are people who reached a level of, they done all the obligations and then they started to do the voluntary on top. So I really request you, my brothers and sisters, do this. This will not just aid you against shayateen, but even human beings that are devils. It will aid you against them as well. Do the obligations. Don't do the haram. Don't miss out any commands that are obligatory, and do more and more voluntary, and keep building that. If you're struggling and you're going through problems when it comes to this, keep doing that, keep building on these things, and inshallah ta'ala, Allah Azza wa Jal will give you strength and give you victory.
Inshallah.
Allah Azza wa Jal will give you cure.
Inshallah. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there. To your dua. And yeah, that was a nice, light-hearted session. We'll end it there, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to reach out to you quickly and just say that if you're a person who's suffering from jinn possession, evil eye, magic, or any other kind of health issue, I want you to know that ruqya is not as difficult or as hard or as far-fetched as it might seem. I know people have this notion that we have to get a raqi, someone to come and do it on me, and these people, some of them, they charge you £100, £150 a session, and you're relying upon someone else for a cure when the cure is from Allah and you're able to access it yourself. The only difference between you and that guy who's reciting on you is knowledge. To be honest, a lot of the times they don't even study themselves. That's why I myself, a couple years ago, put together a course called the Final Ruqya, and we call it the Final Ruqya because after this, inshallah ta'ala, there's no need for you to go to anyone else. It's the final, it's the end, inshallah ta'ala, of your suffering, inshallah, because you're going to learn how to do ruqya in a holistic way, and through it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, you'll be able to bring about a cure for yourself. It's not just the how to do ruqya, but there's a lot of advices. There's a lot of stuff with regards to a person who might be one who's suffering from these ailments. Now, I'll be honest with you, there is a very small fee for the course of about £15 if you click the link below, inshallah ta'ala. But these costs are to be able to facilitate all of these recordings and these programs that we do up and down the country and whatever have, and to pay for our staff. But that's nothing compared to the £50, £60, sometimes even £100 plus that some people will charge you for a 1 hour session. They say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. This is teaching you how to fish. Okay, so click the link below, inshallah ta'ala. Sign up to this ruqya program. Hopefully this will be the end of, or the beginning of the end of your problems. Assalamu alaikum.